Thanks for letting us kick it off, David, with that song. They loved it. I mispronounced it. I feel bad.
Really? I think maybe Prince of Pisces is better.
I mean, I've been reading things all day, so...
It's all good.
This is super exciting to have all three of y'all on stage. We're excited to have all three here together. We are here in a room full of people who still care deeply about the X-Files. So I want to start off with all of you. When you walk into a room like this, you know, how does it feel? What's the energy like? What are you getting from the fans here? What hits you first coming here to SpaceCon?
Holy shit.
I think it's awesome. Y'all still care. It's gratifying for us. I mean, after all these years, I've said recently, I'm meeting 10-year-olds that are binge watching the show. No shit. And it's just very cool for to know that it has that kind of staying power and has had that kind of impact on it. I mean, look at it. This is great. I love you guys.
David, you're no stranger to SpaceCon. Easy to say yes to come back, knowing these two are going to join you.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I echo what Mitch just said. I mean, I was just thinking, standing back there and just thinking back when we started the show, and just, these are thoughts that I never would have had. It's surreal for us to keep coming back and to see everybody out here, and just, we just started making a little show together a long time ago, and then it just continues on in this way. It's fascinating and powerful to me.
I can remember David saying this thing ain't gonna last for 7 episodes.
Well,
yes, if you want to know how to bet, because betting is everywhere these days, just figure out what I'm betting on and bet the opposite.
Well, you bring up a good point. You know, the X-Files is one of those shows people just did not watch. They debated it, they quoted it, rewatched it, built communities around it. So when did each of you first realize this had become bigger than just a normal television show, a normal sci-fi? Because it's definitely not that at all.
Well, I remember they had chat rooms when, like, the first, there were chat rooms. And I remember going on one, I was at my manager's, and she was like, oh, there's a chat room, they're talking about the show. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I'd bet against that. I'd bet against the internet. It's not going to happen. And so we go on the chat room and I say, hey, it's David. And everybody's like, no, you're not David. I couldn't get a word in. It's like, stop impersonating David. That was my first experience with it.
I didn't have any frame of reference at all because I didn't really watch normal television, and so I didn't know that the Gilligan's Islands that I was watching after school was a rerun, or that same with the Brady's Bunch, and so I didn't understand television. So when we started getting really popular and those things started cropping up, I didn't realize that didn't happen for every show. I thought this is what everybody did. Everybody did 17-hour days. Everybody had this kind of fandom, and I was wrong.
Everybody had a little bucket hat.
Who had a bucket hat?
Gilligan.
Oh, yeah. Yes, David, I remember the bucket hat.
So Gilligan's Island was what you grew up with. What were y'all two? What y'all grew up watching?
Howdy doody. That's a fucking old line. Captain Kangaroo.
Radio.
I mean, most of this the show was filmed in Vancouver, right? That were all of it. So, is that most of it? All of it?
First 6 seasons, and then the last
5
2 specials.
seasons.
First 5 seasons. Yes. First 5, and then
last 2.
yeah.
Back there. A lot in Vancouver, to answer your question. We're just,
You're
Well,
correct.
I was going to ask, how did that feel just to spend so much time? It must have been you felt like a Vancouver citizen being there and filming for that long. Did you pick up any of mannerisms of the residents there, just becoming part of the community, being their
I picked up a wife.
Oh yes, so did I. A husband.
And a daughter.
And a child.
I'm here to help.
I'll do too.
I'm here to help.
Too funny. Okay, so we have a question here from Sarah and Miguel from Mexico. Somewhere here. For all you, after playing these characters for so many years, is there a trait or quality from your character that influenced you personally, or that you carried with you into your own life? I mean, a mannerism or something you gave your character, but you actually have it yourself too.
Constipation. We talked about that.
I didn't know that was a choice.
I always describe Skinner as being perpetually constipated, but I'm good. I'm okay. I'm fine. I've said this before. My character, my dad seeped into my character without. I wasn't really aware of it until my dad had passed before the first episode aired. Yeah, and I was watching the show with my brothers and my sister and my mom, and after the episode ended, they looked at me and they said, "That was Dad." And then I was like, "Oh my God!" It's like, because I mean mannerisms, the way kind of the way I move my hands at the desk. It's like I watched my dad. He worked on Department of Defense contracts with the military. He wore the suit. He wore the glasses. He was bald. So I mean, it was like, and I just remember sitting in his office as a little boy and just observing him, and it seeped into my character. And so so that's why I hold Skinner very dear.
Is that why he's bald?
That's why I hold bald.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I learned, from the very beginning, Scully had to do things that in my personal life I would never dream of having to do at that age. And so I think because she was, she was who she was the badass that she was, and because she was fearless, I think I became more fearless because of her. I think definitely.
If I could piggyback off that, like what part of her did you feel most protective of?
Gosh, let me think about that.
Yeah, sorry for the follow-up like that. A question here is from Hannah. She wants to know, what is one conspiracy theory you wish the show visited amongst the many that it has? What is one maybe that you've had on your Rolodex? Or like maybe we should have visited that, or had some, maybe your own conspiracy theory that you thought could have been part of the show?
Did we miss something? What you're saying?
I don't know. That's what Hannah wants to know. Anything you would have done on the show? Maybe a topic or some kind of theory. I mean, there's a lot of seasons of it, so y'all did tackle a lot. Anything from your childhood that you have like your own conspiracy theory as a child?
I mean, I just remember the JFK assassination, but we didn't really, as a child, but we didn't really, did we do an episode on that? I think.
Well, I mean, cigarette smoking, man. And the episode where he.
All right, then, no.
I didn't watch it.
A question here, no name on this one, but they're asking, was there an episode that looked ridiculous on script, but turned out well, after filming when it started?
Small potatoes. Or even the one, the circus one. Humbug. I mean, all of those. It was like, oh, God, are you kidding me? We gotta do that. But it was silly, funny.
They when Darren started writing scripts, he really kind of
How did Bad Blood hit you guys when you first? I love that. I love that.
That was Darren too, or was that
Is
Vince?
that Darren?
Darren and Vince.
Darren Morgan never wrote for me. Never wrote for Skinner at all. Well, the last, where they taking Reggie? Where the hell's
What was the question?
Well, speaking of writers, which writer on the X-Files were you most excited to get a script from?
Darren, I even though I didn't write for him, I always enjoyed reading his.
And Vince, all of them.
We're not going to answer that
Most of
question.
them, we're not gonna.
Excited for all of them.
What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite X-Files behind-the-scenes story? Maybe a day you thought that went unexpected that still sticks with you after all these years.
I remember we were shooting an episode. There was a scene David and I were in, and David's a quick. He's like he can look at something, he can look at dialogue, and he's got it like immediately. And we were shooting, we were shooting a scene, and we get a call from Chris, and he had rewritten the scene, and so he read the scene to us over the phone. David had it like that, and I'm not a quick study. I was agonizing over it, and then when you don't have the words, as an actor you get frantic, and then the performance sucks. But so I was pissed off at him for picking it up so quick.
I have no recollection of that.
It happened. You were great.
There was a scene, it was one morning I woke up and I was playing with my 10-month-old, and she was crawling on the floor in front of me, and she scratched my cornea.
Ooh.
And I had to have my eyeball frozen.
Ooh.
And that day we were shooting a scene in an orchid terrarium. I think it was with, not David Niven, but who was the guy, do you know who I mean? Huh? Yes. And it was raining, and so I had a patch on my eye and I had to do the whole scene sideways. And it was raining, so we couldn't hear each other, and that sucked. That's basically all I have to say is, that was a surprise. Didn't expect that to happen. That was unexplained. Like, why the fuck did this happen today? I couldn't explain that. But anyway.
It's another eye patch story. I remember we were working. This is really behind the scenes, so this doesn't leave this room, right? No time for ourselves, nothing. Work, back home, work. So I get to my trailer, and I've got questions for Chris, because we're shooting that, whatever we're shooting, I got questions. So, but I get on the toilet, because I'm multitasking. I don't have time. So I'm talking to Chris, and I'm questioning him about the script on the toilet, and he says, "Are you on the toilet?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You're just trying to prove to me that you're a producer?" That's as behind the scenes as you're going to get.
Emphasis on behind, for sure. Mitch, Skinner's one of those characters fans grew to love more and more as we got more of him over the seasons. When did you realize fans had really embraced him as part of the heart of the show?
He took off his shirt.
What's that?
When he took off his shirt.
She loves to chide me. Gosh, I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know.
The shirt off. I think Gillian answered it. The answer is the shirt.
I think,
That's what happened.
that works.
Was that,
I
you, got
think-
that, you got that episode?
What's that?
They gave you an episode where Skinner was like central. Remember that one?
Where I had sex with the, where he had sex.
Well, yeah, well, but I mean, it was Skinner's story.
Yeah, the episodes that I was in were not my favorites. Seriously, you know, I think, but there was a moment. Skinner did have a moment, and I think it was the turning point for Skinner as far as his relationship with Mulder and Scully. And it was when he was in his office with cigarette smoking man and Mulder, and he came to the realization what a piece of shit the cigarette smoking man was. And that he was telling him the truth, and the CSM was lying, and he kicked him out of his office. And I think that was a turning point. And one of my favorite points was where he told cigarette smoking man to pucker up and kiss his ass. And I think the fans like that. So I don't even know if that even answers the question. That's all you get.
Gillian and David, y'all have obviously great chemistry on the show. Everyone loves y'all's dynamic on that, right? Did y'all's rhythm kind of happen naturally? How quickly that came about? And obviously between seasons, a lot of time has passed, the films. How quick could y'all get back into that rhythm, back and forth with y'all?
I think it was there even in the audition, because I think that's partly why they cast us together, but pretty quickly, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, we rehearsed it together before we went in, right? Did we just read together?
Yeah, I think in the stairwell.
On the stairs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know, it's just one of those things, you know? I mean, you can't really, I don't think we worked at it, you know? It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
One of those things.
We got a question here from Dominique from Maryland. Somewhere here. There we go in the front. This is a good question. I think I don't know if y'all have to answer this one, but everyone's been thinking about this. Do you know any details about the I Want to Believe director's cuts coming to Disney Plus? That's been kind of announced, we're waiting for it. Anyone got any insights on that, or how we can hype up a director's cut version of that?
I don't know about it, David.
Yeah, Chris has been recutting the second movie. Yeah, so
Have you seen any of his?
I haven't seen it, but I think it's whoever owns Fox these days. I guess it's Disney. I don't know. I guess it'll come out on Disney at some point very soon. But I think there was a lot of stuff that happened around the release of that movie that Chris kind of massaged the movie to be into a shape that maybe was not the ultimate shape that he wanted. So I think this is, his version of what he wanted.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're all excited for whenever that happens. Crossing fingers, right? Going back to Vancouver and just the forest, the moody atmosphere that it offers, how much did that help kind of bring y'all's performances to life filming there? Because I feel like maybe that show, I know you filmed somewhere else, but I feel like it really established the mood of the whole series.
Definitely. I mean, at the beginning, also what established the mood was John Barkley, who did the cinematography, who was the DOP, and he basically had us in darkness the whole time, which had never really been done on television before. But that was very much impacted the mood of the show. But it rains a lot in Vancouver, and there's a lot of it has a particular light, and you can basically shoot Vancouver for anywhere. Because of the mountains and the water and the plains and everything, and so yeah, had a lot to do with that, I think.
Yeah, and Bartley came on that style mostly because of the lack of budget. There wasn't a lot, like the special effects and stuff was pretty crappy. So the less you saw of what was scary, the better. So necessity was the mother of invention in that case. And I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I just wanted to throw out today, I learned last week, just a sad note that Marty McAnally passed away.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, last week, Marty.
Oh wow.
So just, this was a great, there's a lot of people who were there in the beginning in Vancouver who worked their asses off with us. and just took so much pride in the show, in the technical aspects of the show. And Marty McAnally was our focus puller, very dedicated.
Became a camera operator.
Yeah, camera operator, and I think even a DP as well. So just wanted to let you know that this guy was a great guy and a great asset and a great part of the show.
You don't emphasize the behind the scenes stuff. You're talking about these amazing people that you've worked with from day one, carried over to the other seasons, but also to the films and back when you went to the show. How important is the team that kind of catapulted the show, but also stick around later on? And it's having familiar faces. How important was that to have some of the same people stick around for so long?
It was always great to go back to Vancouver for the films and for the following seasons and see familiar faces. But also, I've shot a couple big things in Vancouver over the past few years, and like on Tron, one of the guys.
Where's our Tron fans in space?
One of the guys who worked with us in the original show up there was like their top operator on Tron, which is obviously a big leap for him. And so I often run into people that I've worked with before when I'm shooting up there, which is great.
A question here from Jenna. What is your favorite X-Files episode and why? You got a lot to choose from. What's one that comes to the top of your head, for better or for worse? What's your favorite?
Every single comment.
I've always said home, but an indication of what a sick individual I am. But I mean, I just recently watched Bad Blood, and I love Home too. It's like, I think there's just so many good episodes. But Home's like home.
What for y'all?
David?
I don't know. My favorite to shoot, or my favorite? Anything. Something. I don't know. It's a tough question always to ask because we're not actually fans of the show.
Right.
Maybe
Maybe that pops up to a memory that pops up when you think X-Files.
I mean, I love being able to kind of be present for people that we knew coming up and doing different jobs, like. Or just like David Nutter's first episode, like where we had directors come on who were going to push us and stuff like that. Or Chris's first episode, I'd like to be able to be there for Chris when he was starting to direct, or me starting to direct, or being able to be there for Gillian when she's directing. So these were kind of important moments that I think really show up, and you really feel kind of the esprit de corps at those times of like, let's just try to do our best work for these people that work with us.
But they were also, Chris really wanted to push the boundaries with the show in many different ways, and so, one of his episodes was black and white, and it was all in one shot from beginning to end, which was Triangle. And, Triangle? Oh, is Triangle not black and white? Never mind, that's the Prometheus, that's
Yeah.
But part of it was black and white, right? Didn't we go, wasn't part of it black and white when we were in the past? I'm sorry. Anyway, the Triangle, one shot from beginning to end, which was really fun. And the Cops episode where we were doing that stuff was so much fun to do, and it helped, shake it up, because very often we were having the same conversation over and over again, and Scully was not seeing anything. And so to be able to have different things to play with and to have comedic episodes was part of the joy and why we were able to stick with it so long, I think, without throwing in the towel.
Yeah, I love the comedy that y'all sprinkled throughout the show. To be honest, like who's more likely to break a serious scene, and who's tried hardest to pretend they didn't and just play through it?
Gillian.
100%.
It's an easy question.
Easy question. Did you ever have a moment on set where you looked around and thought this might be the strangest job on television, and maybe you weren't so sure about the genre that you're in, but it
Those are two different answers. A lot of strange things we got involved in. I just remember being yanked from underground, covered in yellow slime.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
Field
I can't remember.
trip. Field trip. Field trip. Field trip.
Oh yeah.
Field trip.
Yes, you guys are good.
We're here are mega fans here, she can't tell. They can each write their own encyclopedia about X-Files here. They know everything here.
They know a lot more about the show than we do.
True.
But that's amazing though, that's how much of an impact y'all had on these people and really gave them something to look forward to weekly and look forward to when it hit theaters. Moving X-Files from television to the big screen meant everything was bigger but still really true to the world. For each of you, what was the biggest challenge of making that shift from television to theatrical?
In theatrical of the X-Files films or theatrical post-X-Files in our careers?
Just X-Files in general being translated. But you can look at it both ways too. I like that lens as well.
I don't know, it felt like when we first did the first feature, it felt like it was on another level. It felt so big in a way that the series, because we've been shooting it in Vancouver for so long, and all of a sudden the feature we shot it in LA, and so we'd kind of been hidden away for a while in Vancouver, just kind of getting to get on with the business of shooting multiple hours and days and weeks and months, and then all of a sudden we were working with a really fancy costume designer and everything felt like it was exponentially bigger, and there were more helicopters and more. Yeah, so that was, it felt like we were like grown-ups then, or something.
Yeah, well here's a behind the scenes of the movie story. Was you guys are into the bees, right? We some people today that were not into bees. This was one of the plot point of the bees.
I do.
So we were shooting that bee scene, I don't know if you remember, but we did our bit and then we were in our trailers. And because they were having to shoot the bees, because this was before you could CGI something like a bee.
Right.
You actually had to shoot the bees. And we're in our trailers for hours, and I finally came out. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I talked the AD, Josh, I guess McLaughlin, and I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, we gotta shoot the bees out." I was like, "Why do you gotta shoot the bees out? Shoot us out, and then shoot the fucking bees." He goes, "Well, if you don't shoot the bees out before sundown, they get really upset." I was like, I get upset if you. These bees have a better agent than I do. But no, actually, what happens is they get disoriented. They're supposed to be in the hive at sundown, so if they're not.
Are they?
Yeah. You don't see bees flying around at night, do you? Do you?
No.
I don't think you do.
No.
So, also what they do is to make them more docile, they take away the queen. So they're not defensive. So, even so, when the sun goes down, they get pissed off. True story.
Well, y'all came back for the revival seasons. That obviously meant stepping back into those characters after years. What surprised you most about jumping back in? And were y'all ready to, was it an immediate yes for those seasons, just to come back? Because y'all been playing these characters for a long time, and I feel like they are part of your life, and I feel like y'all can't get away from them for a good reason, and they're just embedded into you. So are you always going to have those characters and say yes every time a project comes along to bring these characters back, or?
It was hard to say yes, because I felt like, I was working really hard to do things that were as different from Scully as possible, and it felt, I was worried about, being pulled in for too long, or just, anyway, yeah, it was hard to say yes. But then it was even harder to actually, given how many years I'd played her already, I actually found it really hard in the first new season to find her again. I had assumed that she'd be second nature, but I had to go digging.
I think the television changed where you could actually do 8 episodes or 10 episodes or 12. So if they had come to us and said, we want you to do 22 and 25 again, I think it would have been a no. definitely would have been a no, but it was much easier to say yes to what felt like a half season or even a third of a season.
After X-Files, for all y'all, when that came, choosing these different roles and projects, what was most important? What were y'all searching for yourselves after, you had some time after X-Files to expand and move on to a different project? Which all also, like I said, awesome projects, right? There's a lot between all three of them.
I think, there's a part of you that wants to fight against that and push against it, but that's not actually the best place to make decisions from. So I think I go back and forth between trying to find something completely different and then thinking, well, why should I struggle against something positive and that kind of stuff. So these are questions, but it's just, you can't control actually how people are going to react to you. So in the end, you just have to be peaceful with it.
Anyone else?
Well, I went into that Stargate Atlantis, which was Caldwell was basically Skinner in a flight suit. So, there you go.
I guess I've always... I'd always imagined myself doing period pieces. And so it was important to me early on to add some of those to the mix. And so I felt like once I had a couple of those in my back pocket, that I felt like I balanced myself out a little bit.
Y'all been doing this a long time. You've been a part of so many amazing projects. I kind of want to ask y'all, what was the immediate spark for y'all to really dive deeper into y'all's careers when it came to acting? What was that spark for each of you? And what's that spark now to keep continuing going forward and keep pursuing all these roles? Because y'all seem to obviously love performing and giving us all these amazing roles that you've given us.
I think because we did the show for so long, that I felt like, some of my prime years as a young actor were taken up doing one thing. And so part of it for a long time was about getting to do as many different things as possible. And I think I still slightly have that mindset where I feel like I haven't had a chance to do X, Y, and Z. And so I guess that's part of it, just feeling like there's still so much more to do, and I'm, every time I get offered something, I feel incredibly grateful that I'm still working and people still want to, or even think that I can do something else, you know what I mean?
Maybe a spark, like a spark for you early on in your careers, and the spark that you still have today, keep pushing yourselves.
I got no spark.
That is fair. A question here from Janice, I guess it's for David and Gillian. Was it just a coincidence that both of you did sexy shows after X-Files?
That's a good point.
No.
You got to remember that I did a sexy show before X-Files.
Good point.
I'm sorry, I reminded anybody of
Why
that.
was it just for David and Gillian? I was trying to.
Did you do a sexy show?
I tried to be sexy.
No, you were sexy. You are sexy, but did you do a sexy show? Mitch needs to do a sexy show. Clearly, you guys got to get out there and get Mitch on a sexy show.
Out of all the roles y'all have done, which one have you connected the most with?
I think you'll recall that I wrote you as Skin Man, which is sexy. Anyway, go ahead.
I was asking, which role have you connected with the most out of all the roles you did? Maybe one that's the most personal to you outside of X-Files. Maybe a project you're super proud of, that you took a big leap on that project too and you're happy you did.
I don't know if I ever leaped anywhere, but I worked with Jared Pileggi on Supernatural. And he's a stellar individual, and I played his grandfather on that, and then he asked me to play his father.
Grandfather? You played his grandfather?
I played his grandfather, yeah. And then I played his father on Walker. So I got younger.
So if you held on long
I was
enough,
trying to be sexy, but
you held on long enough, you could have been his brother.
next show we do together, I'll be his son. But I played a character named Bonham Walker, and he was a Texas rancher, and that is probably, they asked the rest of the cast who is closest to the character they're playing. They all said immediately Mitch. That individual, Bonham Walker, was probably as close to my heart as any character that I've ever played. So, and I had a great time doing it. So that's it.
Hey, I don't know how to answer those questions.
Oh, it's okay. I have one here. If you want, I got another one here from Bethany. She's asking, as artists, do you ever feel creatively burned out? And if so, how do you recharge your creativity or inspiration? How y'all let off steam?
I take a lot of naps. Naps are good.
Well, those are two different questions, but I think, yeah, sometimes you feel a little creatively bankrupt, but, another part will come along, another project or another something, and it'll inspire you, or you inspire yourself. I think that's probably the key, is like you gotta inspire yourself, I think.
Yeah,
Through the work.
I haven't had that experience of creative burnout. I mean, I feel I found many different ways to express myself creatively, whether it's writing or in creating consumer goods or various other things, and so I feel like I keep that ticking along in the background. It's more.
Somebody gave me a drink today. A G-spot, and they gave me a small replica of the female anatomy as well.
Oh!
What'd you do with it?
I lost it. I lost my vagina.
We have a question here from Audrey. She wants to know, what is a favorite inspirational quote or words of wisdom you would like to share? Maybe something you've heard from someone that maybe mentored you want to pass down to our great audience here.
Mitch?
I don't listen to anybody.
Don't listen to anyone.
There's been a lot, I think. Hard to, sometimes you get decent advice. For some reason, I'm just remembering this actor named Patrick Bischow, who I worked with. One of my first jobs is a movie called The Rapture, and Patrick was on it, and I think I was just eager, I was very eager to learn and be on set and do that, and he pulled me aside and he said, it's a marathon, not a sprint, And so I've always kind of conserve energy, and then have it when you need to come through. That's just what pops into my mind today.
I think it's probably something to do with letting go, or being able to not take either myself or events in life too seriously. I mean, I think that's definitely also something that's come with age and experience, is just letting things kind of roll off my back in a way that I didn't when I was a lot younger. And so there's something, I don't know what the quote is, but there's something with that is kind of invaluable, because I think you can spend a lot of time obsessing about things, obsessing about conversations, obsessing about oneself and how one looks and whether one is to this or to that. And there's so much better things to be spending one's thoughts on. And sometimes it only takes, feeling gratitude for what you have, or being of service to somebody else, that actually gets us out of ourselves enough to actually feel alive and awake and connected to the rest of the world, so that we get out of our own heads. And that's something that's, one of my favorite quotes, unrelated to advice, is that youth is wasted on the young, and I think that's so true because it says what it says.
Piece of advice that I've passed on to younger actors is, hey, let the stunt man do the stunts. And me, don't be an asshole.
Lastly, I'll end on this note. We got some basketball fans here. Austin, David.
He's ignoring your call.
Do you have a basketball fan? Who's the basketball fan amongst the three of y'all?
This is probably me.
And the question would be like, who are you going for tonight?
That is mean.
That's not mean.
That was
It's a big time here. We're having some fun. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be here. I think everyone's excited that SpaceCon landed on this day too.
Yeah.
I think everyone's excited about this. So.
Yeah.
I do think we have a gift though. Do we have it back there? Can we bring our awesome artwork to present? Don't be shy. So there's some great artists here that want to give you all some very X-Files themed artwork for y'all as we wrap up.
Oh, fantastic.
Show it to the cast here. Get it to them there. So we got a nice Wemby X-Files hybrid there. We want to show some love at the same time. It's a very important time for the whole city, and I know it's an important time for all the Knicks as well.
What's it say?
It says,
Oh, yeah.
Bonjour, Agent Scully and Agent Mulder. I've been expecting you. This is Wembanyama. And then, what happens is, he says, are y'all? All of a sudden, he's not French anymore. Are y'all going to SpaceCon? I hear there'll be lots of aliens in attendance. And then Mulder says, Scully didn't say that. Scully's just badging him. Just badging him. And I say, great game, Mr. Wembanyama. We will be attending SpaceCon, but first we have some questions for you.
And I look like my eyes are rolling into the back of my head. You look pretty serious.
Well, I mean, he's 7'5", so you're they have to. I'm just looking at his armpit.
Well, we just wanted to give you a fun little keepsake. We want to thank y'all for being here in San Diego Space Park. Thank y'all so much.